Robots Radio presents...
Hey there, and welcome to the Hidden Pixels podcast, a show highlighting those gaming stories you might have missed on your first playthrough. I'm your host, Sebastian Azaro. On this episode, we're grabbing our sunscreen and heading to the tropical paradise of Alola. This is the world featured in both Pokémon games Sun and Moon, where creatures known as Pokémon run wild. For those of you who don't know, Pokémon are often caught and raised by their trainers, who then battle their Pokémon against other trainer teams. Pokémon are embedded in every aspect of life, from transportation to sports to healthcare. The main games in the series see you controlling a specific trainer as you go off on an epic adventure. Our story takes place after that main adventure, when your trainer is just trying to get some rest and relaxation. And make sure you stick around after the story for a bunch of show announcements, including the winner of our Zelda giveaway. Alright, let's dive in. The trainer looked up at the glowing sun from Big Wave Beach. It was a deep red, just settling over the watery horizon. He did it. He finally felt relaxed. He had struggled through several tough Pokémon battles over the past few days, but it was the clash with the Master Hala that really took it out of him and his Pokémon. He figured a day of resting in the sun at Big Wave Beach was the perfect remedy. Families were packing up their umbrellas and towels, tired from a day of sunbathing and surfing. As the sun drifted down under the edge of the water and the beach suddenly became darker, the trainer wondered where he should head to next. He was just about to leave, feeling a cool breeze off the water, when one of the younger boys on the beach broke from his family and ran over to the trainer. Hey, did you know that recently ghosts have been appearing at the trainer's school? Everybody got scared, and nobody will even go near the school at night. I hope someone, like a Pokémon trainer who is strong enough to be acknowledged by the island Kahuna, will solve the mysteries. And just as quick, the boy ran to catch up with his family. Okay. That was strange. Not only was it random, but it was as if the boy knew who he was. The trainer who beat the island Kahuna. The one who could take on any other trainer in the Alolan Islands. But a haunted school? He'd never taken that on before. Even if it was a hoax, which it probably was, it still may be worth checking out. The trainer thought about it for another half second before making up his mind. He'd go investigate. The darkness had fully taken over the island by the time the trainer got to school. He hadn't seen another person along Route 1 his entire way here, and the cool breeze was actually giving him a chill. He entered the school grounds by the main gate, looking up at the looming building. A few lights were on inside, but many more windows were darkened. The trainer was about to head into the building to investigate, but suddenly realized that there was a small girl standing in the courtyard. One of her Pokémon were hovering next to her, one that the trainer didn't recognize. Before he approached, he pulled out his Pokédex. Drifloon, the balloon Pokémon. Wandering souls gather to form this Pokémon. When trying to make friends with children, Drifloon grabs them by the hand. The trainer looked up from his Pokédex to the girl and Drifloon, only to see that they were staring right at him. They didn't say anything or make any motion. They just stared at him. Against all of the voices telling him to run away, the trainer crossed the courtyard and up to the little girl. She gave him a blank stare back, before finally speaking. You are trainer. Great. Help me. Everyone's scared. At night. School. There are rumors. 7 mysteries. You check for me? You solve, please, okay? She spoke in a strange dialect, but one the trainer could understand enough to know that this confirmed the story from the boy on the beach. But 7 mysteries? This piqued the trainer's interest even further. Maybe he could be the one to put an end to it. or at least get to the bottom of what was happening here. It was definitely weird to say the least. The girl was blankly staring at him the whole time. The trainer agreed to look into the mysteries, and she broke into a huge, unsettling smile. She finally spoke again. First, scary lights at night. Near burning place. Scary lights show up and wander. Burning. Someone burning and crying. You hear girl's voice. Okay. So no one said that these mysteries were going to be this creepy. The trainer had no time for second thoughts now, though. He turned and headed to the school. But before he reached the door, he heard a voice on the wind. I should burn. I should burn. A shadowy figure flew around the building in the corner of the trainer's eye. He stopped in his tracks. Nope. Not going into this one alone. He grabbed a Pokeball off his belt and released his Incineroar. They had been together since the beginning of the trainer's Pokemon adventure, and Incineroar wasn't just his best fighter, but also his best friend. With Incineroar next to him, he started to venture around the corner. When he peeked into the alley next to the school, the first thing he saw was a huge incinerator glowing red with flames. He then saw a brown-haired girl standing with her back to him, muttering something to herself. As he got closer, he started to make out the words. I should burn things. Such things. Yes, I should burn all of them. Suddenly, she whipped around and confronted the trainer. Who are you? She looked frantic and scared. The trainer tried to explain the 7 mysteries, but the girl cut him off. What? Am I one of the 7 mysteries? Are you kidding? No way. I just wanted to burn some letters. I was burning them secretly. Did the flames make people think it was some kind of spirit or something? I wrote love letters for the person I like, and I wanted to give them to him, but he already had... So... The trainer was finally understanding the source of the mysterious lights, but he wasn't convinced that this girl was okay with her love interest finding someone else. Are you really okay with that? Suddenly she grew furious. You don't understand how I feel. Take this, the heartbroken power of a girl with a fragile heart. And with that, she released her Growlithe, a fire puppy ready to battle. The trainer was surprised at her sudden attack, but Incineroar was at the ready. He moved in and battled the Growlithe, easily defeating the puppy in a battle. The student crumpled to the ground, utterly defeated in both battle and in spirit. My fragile heart broken, my strength burned up. I lost the Pokemon battle and the battle of the heart. The trainer was starting to feel awkward. Clearly this student was going through something, but she didn't seem to be a ghost or a mystery of any sort, just a teenager with a broken heart. Hey, don't give up. The trainer supported her, helping her to her feet. The girl looked up at him, wiping a tear away. Huh? That's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me. That's right, my love won't burn out. Thanks to you, I feel much better. Thank you. All right, my island challenge to look for love starts right now. She immediately ran past the trainer and off the school grounds altogether. All right, that was weird, but at least it wasn't supernatural. The trainer placed Incineroar back into her ball and headed to the little girl in the courtyard. Scary lights. You were not scared? You okay? Oh, burned love letters. That all? We made mistake. Other ghost stories. Please solve. Lord Slimy. At night you hear strange sound. Slimy, slimy. Getting close. Footsteps of Lord Slimy. If you're found, Lord Slimy swallow you. You're gone. Please solve, but careful. You're in danger. I'm sad. The trainer stared at her. She was kidding, right? A Lord Slimy in the school that eats students? But the little girl wouldn't respond. She was blankly staring at him, not saying a word. The trainer sighed. All right, time to get into the building and search out this Lord Slimy. Probably some kid just playing a prank. The trainer entered the school, and it was eerily quiet. His footsteps echoed off of the walls as he walked the empty hallways. He climbed the stairs to the 3rd floor, not seeing anything out of the ordinary. But once he reached the landing, he heard something else. Another set of footsteps. Squishy, squashy footsteps. The trainer looked around, believing that the sound was coming up the stairs. But it couldn't be Lord Slimy, right? He wasn't real, right? The footsteps were getting louder. The trainer started to panic. He had to hide. Lord Slimy was coming! The trainer ran down the hall and ripped open the door to the closest locker. Stuffing himself inside, he held his breath so that he could hear better. It was so dark inside the locker he couldn't see a thing, but he could hear the slooping footsteps get closer, and closer, and closer. And then, bang, bang, bang! Someone was trying to open the locker. Occupied. The trainer hoped Lord Slimy would move on, but after a moment, rattle, bang! The door flew open, and the trainer fell to the floor. He looked up, bracing for the worst, but was surprised to see a large man standing over him. Next to him was a sludge Pokémon named Grimer. What in the world are you doing here, kid? It's dangerous to hide in a locker. The trainer picked himself up, confusedly looking at the man. Huh? Who am I? I'm the grandson of the janitor here. He pointed to the Grimer. This is my buddy Grimo. He seems to be interested in beating his rival, Grimy. Normally, I leave all this cleaning to the hard worker Grimo, but today we have to clean the lockers as well, so, you see, with cute little hands, he just can't open the locker. The trainer looked dumbfounded at the Grimer. So this was the cause of the rumors? But before he could explain the mysteries, the janitor continued. Grimo loves cleaning, so he eats almost everything in sight. If you're in the way when he's trying to clean up an area, you might even get, well, just kidding. He probably wouldn't swallow you. And just as suddenly as they arrived, they walked off laughing at the dark joke and leaving the trainer alone in the hallway catching his breath. All right, nothing to be nervous about. Just a Grimer. No such thing as Lord Slimy. He chuckled to himself as he descended down the stairs, happy to have another mystery solved. The little girl seemed happy too. Lord Slimy, you found out? Great. How? What? What? I see. Cleaning Grimer. If you look closely, not scary. Other ghost stories. Please solve. Scary PA system. At night, teacher's lounge, 2nd floor. You hear broadcast from beyond grave. You're done for if you hear it. You can't leave. It's over for you. Be careful. You in danger. I'm sad. The trainer almost brought up the fact that the girl was now repeating herself, but decided against it. Best just solve these 7 mysteries and be done with it all. He re-entered the school and headed to the 2nd floor teacher's lounge, only to find it empty. There was no one around. He almost immediately turned around when the intercom buzzed to life. Dong, 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 dong. The trainer stopped and looked over at the speaker on the desk. He took a couple of steps toward it when it crackled again, and then a voice. You can't get out. A shiver ran up the trainer's spine. What? He spun on the spot and ran to the door, only to have it burst open in his face. But instead of the spirit of the undead, it was a normal-looking man with a pink Pokémon, a Slowpoke. Oh, what are you doing here so late at night? Oh, by the way, did you hear the broadcast? That speaker's been acting up lately, so I went to the broadcast room to fix it. But the Slowpoke here fell asleep and blocked the door. I was having a hard time waking him, and I couldn't get out of the room. The trainer was about to ask why the man requested help in such an eerie voice, but he was cut off. Yeah, I'm gonna go home now. Take it easy on your adventure. Again, the trainer was left alone in the school, wondering what just happened. Hey, at least it explained the mystery. Time to go learn the next one, I guess. At least the little girl seemed pleased. Scary PA system. You solve? Everyone happy now. Thank you. Yes. Speaker was broken, yes. It was not a scary thing. Good. Other ghost stories. Please solve. Fourth mystery. Stairs to nowhere. Night. Stairs. Cursed. You go up and up, but still same place. You can't go down either. Circle, can't go back. But be careful. The trainer interrupted her as he walked off. Yeah, I know. I'm in danger. You're sad, blah, blah, blah. The trainer was still shaking his head at the ridiculousness of the night as he climbed to the second floor. But his train of thought was shaken when he felt an icy breeze coming from the stairs he just climbed. He turned around confused and climbed back down to see if he left the door open. But when he got to the next landing, he was somehow back on the second floor. Wait, what? He climbed the stairs trying to get up to the third floor, but the next landing was the second floor again. He went down and down and down and down, but the floors just kept repeating the second floor every time. He couldn't leave the second floor. The trainer paced the hallway, exploring the entire floor for any way to escape, but there was nothing out of place. He was losing it. It was late, and the air was getting colder and colder. He had to find a way out of here. He just had to. Exhausted and ready to be done with this ridiculous school, he sat down with his back against the wall. He faced a bulletin board across the hallway, littered with notices and announcements. But it was in this tired state that he saw something that he had originally missed. One of the notices had 4 markings on it, looking like 4 corners. The trainer shot up and got a closer look. There were 4 stains that marked 4 corners in a particular order. Suddenly, down the hall, he saw a shimmer. In the 4 corners of the hallway, lights were suddenly shining. The trainer got an idea. He went to the 4 corners of the hallway in the same order of the stains on the notice. When he reached each light, the cold air blowing from the stairs became less intense. And once he got to the 4th corner, the breeze extinguished completely. The trainer had a good feeling about this. He now headed down the stairs, thinking he had solved the mystery, when all of a sudden, the lights went out. Smack! Something cold hit him on the back of the neck. He fell down the stairs, landing hard on the floor. Looking back up the stairs, he saw a Ghastly, a ghost Pokémon. That explains it. Ghastly had cast a confusion attack on him, making him believe he was stuck. Well, he was stuck no longer. He took a Pokeball out, releasing Incineroar, who chased away the Ghastly. Sheesh. The trainer couldn't believe he had been tricked like that. Not again. He wasn't going to let this school get the best of him. He was a Pokemon master. He was going to solve the remaining 3 mysteries. He strode across the courtyard, determined not to be fooled again. The girl had her typical blank stare on. Stairs to nowhere. You solved? You great. Very great. I know now. Ghastly prank it was. Paper on board was hint, I see. Other ghost stories. Please solve. Cursed diary. It appears on the shelf. 3rd floor. Keep reading and scary things happen. If you finish reading it, someone take you away. Please solve, but be careful. But the trainer was already leaving before she could finish. He ran to the 3rd floor and quickly found the bookshelf. Scanning the pristine textbooks, he identified the one that was out of place, a tattered green diary. Opening the battered cover, he began to search for the problem. March 2nd. Moved into a new house. It's a very spacious house. The rent is cheap. Wonderful. What a great deal. I'm so lucky. I look forward to every day here. but sometimes I hear a cracking sound in the middle of the night. I wonder what it is. Crack! From somewhere down the hall, a cracking echoed. The trainer tried to ignore it and kept reading. All of the other mysteries were hoaxes. This one had to be too. Right? March 9th. This room is weird. Even when I'm alone, I sometimes see something moving out of the corner of my eye. I thought I was imagining it, but I always feel like someone is watching me. Who could be watching me? A shadow flew down the hall and into a classroom. The trainer gulped, but kept reading. Just a hoax, just a hoax, just a March 11th. This room is cursed. The sound of something scratching on the floor doesn't seem to stop. Scratching and scratching and scratching and scratching and scratching and scratching and scratching, scratching and scratching and scratching. The lights suddenly went out in the whole school. The cracking and a scratching sound intensified. Louder and louder, they started to get closer. Just a hoax, just a hoax, just a... Oh, I can't take it anymore. The trainer tried to run, but suddenly a figure blocked his path. He released Incineroar, who attacked in full force. Within a moment, it was all over, and the lights flashed back on. Laying on the floor in front of Incineroar was an unconscious Drifloon, similar to the one the girl owned in the courtyard. It was a hoax! Ha! The trainer puffed out his chest. I knew it all along, he said to no one in particular. He grabbed the diary and read the last entry. That's as far as I've gotten in my manuscript so far. I think writing a horror novel in this kind of diary format could be a smash hit. The trainer chucked the book out a nearby window before heading back to the courtyard below. Okay guys, quick break before jumping back into the story. This week's episode is brought to you by Retro Vertigo and his RPG, Last Legend. A few months back, I went to Retro Vertigo for some banner art for our social media feeds. What he made was more than I could have ever imagined, painting a story of an adventurer finally finding the Hidden Pixels podcast. So when I needed some more pieces for our new Patreon, I knew exactly who to go to. Retro Vertigo is extremely talented, and he's been making some serious progress on his RPG, Last Legend. Go check out his progress and all of his work at _Last Legend on Twitter and at lastlegend.manakeep, that's MANAKEEP.com. Alright, back to the story. Cursed diary. Now I know. It's Drifloon's prank. My Drifloon always makes pranks too. It pulled my hand. Pulled me. Maybe it lonely. That why it does? Other ghost stories. Please solve 6th mystery. Ghost class. At night. Classroom. 2nd floor. You hear laughter. Ghosts are taking a class too. Everyone says so. Please solve. Be careful. You in danger. I'm sad. The trainer ran up the stairs, happy to almost be finished with these mysteries. When he got to the classroom door, he did in fact hear laughter, just as the little girl predicted. He opened the door, but was surprised to see a class full of students. There was a teacher at the head of the class as well, with no ghosts in sight. Good morning! Let's get fired up and have a great day! All the kids yelled, yeah! And laughed. Everyone sounded happy and cheerful. One student in the back was singing, do, just a kahuna on a stroll to the Laguna. I'll try the island challenge someday. Someday. Do you know when that will be? Another student eyed the trainer before speaking. Everyone kind. I'm happy. My language is no good, but fun. I made friends. A lot. Will you be my friend too? The trainer was a little taken aback, but agreed. Thank you! I knew you were kind. All right, there was something off about these students. They all had the same blank stare as the little girl in the courtyard. Another student near the front of the class started to slowly turn his head towards the trainer, the rest of his body remaining completely still. Why don't you join us? Let's take the class together. It's really fun. The trainer backed up a step, realizing that something was wrong here. Too bad. I thought we'd have one more friend. Great answer. What? Other kids chimed in. School is fun. I want to be here forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. While the student continued, the teacher spoke up. Okay, everybody, we have a new friend today. Be nice to him. The trainer knew he had to get out of the room in order to solve this mystery. It may be a hoax in some way, but that didn't make it any less creepy. I gotta go. The teacher's bright smiling face suddenly turned fierce and furious, and then it contorted as though wincing in pain. I drift loon chow long. The trainer blinked, and suddenly the teacher was no longer there. Instead, there stood a yellow Hypno, a psychic Pokémon. Then, just as quickly, everything went black. The next thing the trainer knew, he was sitting at the desk in front of the class, the room entirely empty. Everything he saw was an illusion by Hypno? So the students weren't real? They weren't ghosts? The trainer didn't know what to believe anymore. Truth was, he was just happy to almost be done with this whole thing. He ran back to the girl, ready for the final mystery. Ghost class? You solve? Very smart. Yes. Hypno trick. But it remember me. That is happy. Other ghost stories? Please solve. The girl didn't continue. The trainer looked around the empty courtyard, confused. So what's number 7? 7th story? I don't know. I'm very sorry. Then, all of a sudden, her consistently blank stare broke into a huge grin. You great. Very great. 7 mysteries you solved all. No more scare. Great. Thank you. Great. I love school. If everyone's scared, I'm sad. So I give this to you, my treasure. Drifloon gave it to me. From somewhere in one of her pockets, she pulled out an old pair of glasses and handed them to the trainer. He accepted them, but before he could ask what they were for, she continued. School. Everyone very kind. I come from far away. Here, language different. I was in trouble. But I came to school. Everyone good. I love everyone. I want to protect school. Great. She broke into another huge smile, actually looking peaceful with Drifloon for a moment. Hey! You over there! What are you doing this late at night? The trainer jumped out of his shoes at the voice. A large, overweight man, the school's security officer, was crossing the grounds, looking worriedly at the trainer. The trainer, embarrassed that he scared so easily, turned back to the girl. But when he turned around, her and Drifloon had disappeared. He was alone in the courtyard, with the approaching security guard. The man huffed and puffed up to the trainer, seeing the blood drain from the Pokemon Master's face. What's wrong? The girl. The trainer couldn't even muster a sentence. After all of the mysteries of the night, he couldn't explain this one as a hoax. The guard slapped him on the back. 7 mysteries, right? Everyone talks about them. But you were alone. Now, I'll wrap up my patrol. You go home now. And he walked off, leaving the trainer in the courtyard, all alone. You gotta catch 'em all. Such a simple phrase that led to such an incredible craze. Whether you're a fan or not, you have to admit that the world of Pokemon is a dominant force in the gaming industry. From the original Game Boy games, to the mobile Pokemon Go, to the newly released Detective Pikachu movie, you'd be hard-pressed to name a person who can't name at least one Pokemon. There are so many aspects of these games that people find interesting. For my buddies, it's the maximizing power to battle. For others, it's the aspect of collecting, of finding rare kinds. For me, obviously, it's the side stories, like the one in today's episode. Seeing how humans integrated these creatures into their lives is so interesting to me, and it's the part that I'm most excited about in the new movie. The ability to appeal to so many types of gamers is what makes this franchise so successful, and it's why we'll still be talking about Pokémon for years to come. Okay, time for some show updates. I hope y'all saw the interview with Andy from Zelda Dungeon earlier this week. Thanks again to Andy for stopping by, and don't forget to subscribe to his show, The Champions Cast, for all of your Zelda fixes. Also, for those of you who might have missed it, we're part of the Robots Radio podcast network. We're so excited to be collaborating with all of these other incredible shows and sharing different viewpoints and lore from all of the games. For Fallout fans, you have the Fallout Lorecast and Out of the Vault. For Elder Scroll diehards, you have Written in Uncertainty and the Elder Scrolls Lorecast. For everyone else, there's Robots Thoughts, there's Sleepy Time Stories. These shows are all high quality and are bringing new ideas to the table, so check them out at robotsradio.net or check out our Twitter feed where we're retweeting the other shows all of the time. Okay, we're also ready to announce the winner of our Zelda-themed giveaway. The lucky winner is user RichardXD, that's Richard with 3 A's, on Instagram. They'll win a prize pack including a Death Mountain t-shirt and a Majora's Mask cookie cutter from Honey Bunny Cookies on Etsy. Thanks to all who entered. We really appreciate your support, and congrats to Richard XD. And one last piece of news is the release of 2 initiatives here at Hidden Pixels. The first is a dedicated Discord channel, with a link that we'll place in the show notes. If you want to continue the story after the episode, come on by. We'll talk through all of the haunted schools, the sky forges, and all of the Yoshi cookies. We're also now on Patreon. Search for the Hidden Pixels podcast and sign up to support the show. You can give as little as $1 a month and get exclusive benefits like having a character named after you in the story, free entries into all of our giveaways, and a dedicated Discord channel, and many, many more things. The link is in the show notes as well, so check it out and consider supporting the show. Okay, enough news. Next week, we're getting away from Nintendo properties and moving back into loot shooters. It's about high time we dove into Destiny, so hop onto your Sparrow and meet us at the tower in 2 weeks. And as always, thanks for listening. Today's show was written, recorded, and produced by me, Sebastian Nazar. All sources used today can be found in the episode details on our website, hiddenpixelspodcast.com. Episodes are available now on Apple Podcast, Google Play, and Spotify. If you like what you heard, or even if you didn't, please subscribe, rate, and review. And follow us on Facebook at Hidden Pixels Podcast and on Twitter at Hidden Pixels Pod. And of course, thanks for listening.
Have you ever wondered how deep the Elder Scrolls lore rabbit hole goes? Have you got a grasp of the basics and want to find out more about the universe? Written in Uncertainty is here to help you. We'll be mixing in philosophy, theology, and whatever other theory is useful with Elder Scrolls texts to untangle some of the biggest questions in the series, like what are dragon breaks, how does Chim work, where did the Dwemer go, and more. Check us out at writteninuncertainty.com or find Written in Uncertainty on any podcatcher. Thanks for listening, and catch you later in the grey maybe of Tamriel.